Welcome, one and all, to Race Day Sunday. We have Metroid Prime Alternate Weekly Race today. My name is Frigid Hyperion, and I'll be commenting on today's race. And with me, we have Marion Law 71. How are you doing today, Marion?
I'm doing well, Frigid. I can't complain. I haven't really been in the Prime booth all that much lately, so it'll be interesting to see how Prime's evolved over the last few months.
Well, as I've stated on yesterday's race in Echoes, you're more suited to that game, and I am more suited to Prime. So, between the two of us, we'll do a good job, I think.
Absolutely. And before we continue, I do want to give a nice little shout out to our two trackers today, Op82 and Warren Traveler. They'll be making sure that our scoreboards and our item collection lists, followed by our notes and important details, are kept up to date for you watching at home.
That's right. And before we get started here, I just want to run through what alternate settings are exactly. Alternate settings. The racers start in a random location anywhere on the map, as well as the elevators are randomized. Two-way elevators that can connect to different regions. They have to connect to different regions. They can't connect back to themselves. Each racer starts with an additional 1 to 3 items. And they start with Charge Beam as well, so that gives them a little bit of a good start. And then the trick settings are all 10 of them are at beginner, and those tricks are bomb jumping, combat dash and scan dash, gravityless underwater movement, general knowledge, L jump and R jump, movement, slope jumping, and standable terrain. And on top of this, there is no dangerous gravity suit logic.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun time trying to see them do gravityless checks with no suit, and the movement's just going to be, well, have fun moving underwater without any sort of support to help you out. But on the bright side, with that charge beam, though, Charge Beam is... How significant does that play with us starting immediately off with it, Frigid?
Well, Charge Beam is a decent combat option. It's a good alternate to missiles. And on top of that, it eliminates one additional item that you need to get super missiles. You already start with Power Beam and Charge Beam, so the only thing you need to fire super missiles is the super missiles themselves.
Oh, it'll be interesting. So we don't need missile launcher in order for our supers to actually work.
We do need missile launcher. Missile launcher is not required to have missiles, but it is in the logic chain, so we can keep that in mind.
All right, I see where you're going for. And just quick notes for folks wondering why we're currently on a black screen. Unfortunately, we did have to regenerate the seed hash. There was some sort of issue with that. So bear with us just a few extra minutes. We'll get this countdown started momentarily, but we did have to take a new seed. And it looks like today we're going with the Chozo Frigate Warrior. That's one heck of a battle name.
Absolutely. I love these random names.
So, Frigid, we make the common joke about Lower Taurus being the place you never want to start just due to how limited it is and the strict requirements needed just to move through it. What would you say is Prime's biggest issue that they could start out with today?
The most complicated, I think there are 2 different areas that are complicated enough for them to start in. One of them being in the Talon Overworld crashed frigate, just because it's all underwater movement. You can get out of it, but you'll need Morph Ball and Ice Beam to go out the top, and you'll need Gravity Suit, Morph Ball, and Bombs to go out the other way, over by the tree. The other problematic area would be Lower Mines. Everybody loves Lower Mines. It's lined with nothing but Phazon. You're going to need Plasma Beam, and a few other things to get out of there.
Yeah, Phazon Mines is not a good start at all.
Never is, but it always seems to be the trend that whenever I commentate on these races, we tend to start in Phazon Mines. So...
So how much would you bet that we're starting somewhere in Lower Mines today? Or Phazon Mines in general?
Phazon Mines in general, I give it a good 10 to 20%.
Okay, so not bad. So
Not terrible.
on the flip side, where would you theoretically want these runners to start off with? What would be their best chance of getting a lot of movement, a lot of checks, and getting as much information as possible?
Ideally, the best place to start out would be near landing site or in Chozo Ruins. Chozo Ruins is the most item dense area in the game, and starting off over by ship, you can easily grab missiles somewhere, and you'll be able to check your artifacts right away.
That's an interesting thought. And with you mentioned the artifact hints, and any sort of knowledge, I'd say, is key to a great change in these races. You never know when some sort of hint or one artifact location or coming across one little item in the obscure locations of Fendrana or maybe in Deep Magmor. I mean, one piece of information could change this game wide open.
In fact, indeed it could. We kind of saw that play into yesterday's Echoes race. That was an intense race, and I'm hoping this one's going to be intense as well.
Well, with it Prime, and unlike Echoes, Prime does not get any translator hints or any sort of information outside of A, physically seeing the item, or B, artifact hints and your Phazon suit hit later on. Outside of that, these runners are going to struggle with trying to figure out where to go based on what they currently have, aren't they?
Yes, it's going to be more of context clues based on what items they get and what is immediately open to them by those items, as well as general knowledge and good memory of what doors lie where. There is no door rando today; it's all vanilla doors. So if you're very familiar with the vanilla game, you'll be pretty well off with doing alternate settings today.
Yeah, and the good thing I like about Randomania, we don't have to go through the frigate itself before it crashed. Just we don't have to go through that little tutorial area.
No, we don't. Then that's always a really good way to just get right into the action. We don't have to worry about that intro. Before we continue on, I do want to introduce today's racers today. We have Bruh Incorporated racing again after yesterday's Echoes race. And facing off against him in our restream is Storm. They're both very competent racers in the Prime scene. We've seen them on CGC races before as well.
Yes, indeed. These runners are highly proficient in out-of-bounds and movement tricks especially. So I'd garner, we'll be seeing a good amount of out-of-bounds movement from each runner today. But with that being said, the countdown has been started. We should be seeing these runners going in just a few moments.
And while that countdown starts up, I do want to say I do have my sticky note up here ready to jot things down. I have artifact hints ready to write down. We only need 6 of the 12 artifacts today. The other 6 will not be generated. And then I have major items ready to be written down for locations, so we can come back to those later.
All right, looks like the countdown is officiated. We are again rock and roll in just about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Good luck to Storm and Bruh and all the other racers on Metroid Prime's alternate weekly race today.
All right, and real quick, as we are starting off with Charge Beam, what else are we starting with, and where are we starting? Well,
we're starting off in Chozo Ruins. And we're about to see what those starting items are. Space jump boots only, but that's a really powerful start.
And it looks like we might be nearing Tower. Looks like we're near Tower of Light. We just came back from that wave beam door. And hey, look at that, a wave beam!
Huh.
Would you look at that?
No, that's going to be a Tower of Light start. Oh, this is painful. They're going to need to find missile launcher, which could be either in tower chamber or it could be in tower proper. We're about to find out.
Right,
Bruh's already scaling that tower. And there are 2 different ways you can scale this tower. You have to go level by level, but you can either do it by combat dashing, like Bruh is doing, or I have a personal method to where I L&R jump over to the edges from the center platform. Either can work very well. And that's the first artifact!
Well, that's a very interesting place to have your artifact, just on the top of this wonderful, glorious tower standing above the skies. But before we leave, we're going to check underneath the water here in this little storage cavern and pick up a missile launcher.
That is our missile launcher in Tower Chamber. Wow. That is an insane start, just to have both tower items off in the far corner of Chozo Ruins just immediately checked and be important.
Well, the good thing I like about this, with how vast Chozo is, being one of the larger areas, coming up to Tower of Light immediately with Wave Beam, we're already getting two of the most out-of-the-way checks done as possible.
It looks like the upper check for Ruined Shrine was some missile expansion. Bro took a couple seconds to take a look at that, and in the meantime, looks like Storm is catching up in Ruined Shrine right now. Is he going to check as well? Nope, he's going to go straight for the tunnel.
But before that, it looks like Bruh is trying to do something with this tree. What are we doing here to this tree, Frigid?
There is one very exact... Oh, that's super missiles on... That's super missiles on main plaza ledge. So what Bra was doing just a second ago, and what Storm is doing right... Oh, never mind. Storm's not going to do it. As he was checking a very, very small frame in which he can look inside the stump of the tree. I think that was a missile expansion in there, so there's no interest in that. Let's see, I think Bra just looked over at the elevator over by Main Plaza, and that was a Magmore Caverns elevator. We have Morph Ball over by Vault Door. And now it looks like Bra is heading back to Ruined Shrine once again.
Well, now that you have that Morph Ball, I mean, we can get that item, get a little bit more ammunition for us.
And those were bombs! I was wrong!
Well, those were required then.
Already we have a lot of very powerful items. Morph Ball and bombs, we have Space Jump. That's going to lead into a lot of very easy tricks, very good standables for these racers. And a general rule of thumb for Metroid Prime is that if it looks like it can be stand-on, a lot of the times it can.
Absolutely. Collision is a thing of the past in these games.
And inside Vault, we have a missile expansion, so that's not terribly important. No one's going to be getting that. It's not really all that prudent to grab such a small item in a time-consuming puzzle.
And here we got another elevator. Oh, another Magmore Caverns. This time we're going to South Magmore. And we're just going to bypass that for later, as we do not have our Various suit yet.
That is correct. So I wonder if we're going to be getting Various suit early in this race, or if it's going to be further back in the back rooms of Chozo Ruins. That's Ice Spreader. I don't have... ooh!
Another artifact right here on
Hive Totem.
And we're just going to walk out, leaving Hive Totem alone, as we don't need to trigger this fight whatsoever.
We really don't. The hitbox for that has been... It is able to be skipped by just good general knowledge of where that hitbox is. Getting quite a few missile expansions along the way here. And Storm's going the opposite direction, going over towards Hive Totem, so he will see that artifact very shortly.
We had something shiny that Brad just skipped over. Possibly just another expansion.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would think it would be.
And although that Ice Spreader is nice, it'll be great for when we have to fight Exo. At the current moment, well, we're still missing an Ice Beam to actually make use of it.
That's true. And as I was saying, I'm not going to keep track of the locations of the other charge combos, Wave Buster, Ice Spreader, and Flamethrower, as they're not really required for any check specifically. They're nice to have. Well, at least Wave Buster and Ice Spreader are nice to have at least, and Flamethrower, we always love to say that it's validating a run.
And we got another missile expansion here on the spider ball track.
It's going to be very important to check as many of these as possible, and if they can grab it, if they need to grab it, then they will. If it's not needed to be grabbed, then they'll just bypass it. Heading towards Watery Hall. Nope. Climbing up Gathering Hall to go check the upper item in here. Looks like a missile expansion. He's going to grab that. Storm is heading over to Ruined Fountain now, kind of in the same path as Bruh. Bruh taking a safety save. Probably thinking about going to fight Zoid.
That'd be a smart idea. We have bombs. We can leave and get both of Zoid's items. But before we do that, we might as well take a quick peek over at Watery Hall, see what's hiding around this little corner.
We have missile expansion and access.
But unfortunately, Bruh's running a little bit low on health in order to check Watery Hall. Relatively speaking, we really want to have one E-tank, or at minimum full health, to take a dive.
And we want to have at least one E-tank to grab the item. We can always just take a quick dip in to take a look at the item and then immediately leave. And it looks like that is Varia on Watery Hall.
I told you it was a good idea coming around here.
Uh-huh. And Storm is heading the same way. Missile expansion on lower Dynamo. We'll see if Bra wants to take a quick look at upper Dynamo by going out of bounds. There's Varia suit, and no, it doesn't look like Bra's going to take the peek into upper Dynamo. He's going to go in for a quick dip in the acid, take a look at that item underneath. And that's only missile expansion, so not needed. That was a good quick dip in the acid, though I do not fault Bra at all for taking the safety save.
Yeah, you never know when one small misstep will take down your run, but...
And it looks like Storm is going out of bounds to check upper Dynamo.
Well, at least we have space jumping bombs to move out of bounds proper, safely at least.
Uh-huh.
But with this various suit being held...
Some of these rooms in Prime are very easy to get out of bounds for. Watery Hall being one of them, Izeruin's East being another, and Root Cave in Talon Overworld is another one that's really easy to move out of bounds.
So with Storm doing this out of bounds now and checking upper Dynamo, is there any other reason we could be doing this to get a little bit further ahead?
If there's an important item that's locked behind Spider Ball, they could get that early so they don't have to worry about it later, and that could lead to a little bit of a logic chain, what do you call it? A little bit of a cut in the logic chain. Rod just tried to attempt a Magma Pool dash, but didn't quite make it, but I imagine he took another safety save before trying that.
That is why you always take safety saves.
We take safety saves here. And yes, he still has his Varia suit, so we're good there. Is he going to attempt it again? It looks like it. He has Wave Beam, so if he can get across Magma Pool, he'll be able to check Trading Chamber access. Beautiful like scan dash.
Looks like Storm's having a bit of a trouble here and out of bounds, Richard.
Maybe. He's trying to get the trigger for Dynamo. It's always a trick with out of bounds, whether it be in Prime or Echoes, is to activate that load trigger for any room. Looks like he's in the right area, but it's just not wanting to load for him. Bra is instead taking the elevator down to Magmore Caverns now.
As far as my notes tell, this should get to Magmore Caverns West.
And that is the Transport Tunnel A. side. So now that he has bombs, he's going to be able to check out TTA and see what this item holds. And it's another missile. Neither racer has an E-tank yet. Surprising.
It looks like Storm's... Oh, it's an artifact up top. So I would allege, correct me if I'm wrong, but Storm's going to try to climb Upper Dynamo and get that artifact from out of bounds.
He is. I'm not extremely learned in out of bounds, but as long as he stays out of bounds... Oh, no!
Oh, no, he clipped back in!
He fell back in bounds, but he knows where that is now. So he might not necessarily try to get it now, but he knows now for later.
And as we said at the start of this race, any piece of knowledge, no matter what it is, can be game-breaking.
Indeed. Any knowledge, even if it's unwanted knowledge, can be worth having.
Now, we have a question in chat wondering if you can get upper Dynamo without the boost ball. Rich, and I'll throw that your way.
It looked like Samuel answered that question. He's from out of bounds. I'm not entirely learned with out of bounds, so Samuel, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, he said technically you can get it without using boost, but it takes a lot of time. So it looks like for now, I think Storm might have just been trying to see what that was and then just stepping out. Bruh is very low on HP in Magmore Caverns now.
Oh.
I couldn't see what that shore tunnel item was.
Looked like a wave buster. And we do have a nothing item just before short tunnel, hiding on top of the grate.
And here we have a path difference. We have Storm, I think he's heading towards Zoid now, and Bruh is in Magmore Caverns.
We got conflicting answers on what's in short tunnel. Either a wave buster or an E-tank.
I couldn't get a good look at it, but it did have a bright color to it, so... Maybe it was Ice Beam.
Hey, anything's possible. And Storm's just now fighting Zoid while we come across a missile expansion.
Had to steal Zoid's treasure, and now he's taking down the... I don't know what to call this thing. It's the incinerator drone, but it just kind of looks like a weird stake in the ground.
It's, well, when you say that, I can't help but think of a giant metal scarecrow.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a pretty good way to describe it. Broad checking everything he can in Magmore Caverns through Triclops Pit and Storage Cavern. I believe he's heading his way to Lava Lake as well to check to see what that is. Magmore Caverns having the fewest items to grab, but it is a good place to... It is a good way to knock all of them out if you can right away, just so you don't have to keep running back and forth looking at items.
Absolutely, and with Magmore having so many elevators in it, and with it just being really a straight line between each elevator, it could get us into either Fendrana, especially with that wave beam.
That's Spider Ball on Lava Lake!
Or we can find a Spider Ball. Well, now we can get the that artifact on Upper Dynamo properly.
Yes, we can. But Broad doesn't know that artifact is there. So it's going to come down to, is he going to go back to Upper Dynamo, or is he going to go to some other place that has a Spider Ball track?
No, I would foresee Bro's just going to keep on moving forward. Granted, we started in Chozo, but we could take a save warp later on and start doing some full clearing.
That is true. Need it. We have yet to see Talon Overworld as well. Talon Overworld, if it's over by landing site, would be a great place to, would be a great time to stop over by Artifact Temple. We got a Fen Shorelines elevator. And that's a good area for Spider Ball tracks.
Absolutely. While those
We got
Stormers made their way into Furnace with a missile expansion on lower, possibly taking a peek for upper Furnace to see what's hiding. Okay, Frigid, what is going on with this spider ball track? How are we able to just climb it?
So there are a couple ways you could climb it. One way that we are not using is if you use Spring Ball, you can jump and bomb your way up there by using a weird collision on the track itself. But since we don't have Spring Ball modifications in this seed, you're able to hug the left side of the spider ball track, and without holding the L trigger, continue to jump until you reach the top of the spider ball track, and then morph ball into it.
Well, that's one way to go about it. And it looks like Bruz just picked up a power bomb expansion, but we do have the knowledge that main power bombs are locked behind plasma beam in the sheet of ice.
Ooh. Logically speaking, at least.
Logically, yes, we would need plasma beam to melt the ice so we can get power bombs. So any power bomb checks Brud does currently will not be considered for the logic chain that he's going through.
For better or for worse, sometimes the deviation from the logic chain can help racers in that scenario.
I agree. I mean, you can get some earlier checks done, get some possibly late game items that you wouldn't necessarily have access to, and then just beat the rest of your game with those logic chains.
Just checking in on both of our racers here. They're both in sacred areas to the Chozo. They are in Chozo Ice Temple and Hall of the Elders.
And if the Chozo were such a powerful race, we have to keep their history preserved.
It looks like Bruh is attempting to take a peek behind the statue. I don't know what's back there. I couldn't get a good look at it, if anybody was able to see that. But he is heading towards Chapel of the Elders, to where he will fight the Sheegoth family.
And while Bruh takes down a Sheegoth, possibly, we've just got information that Antechamber has nothing but an E-Tank, so we won't be grabbing that for quite a while.
If at all. It's kind of out of the way, and you need Ice Beam for that, so it might not be picked up this run. Storm! Oh. Storm has a Talon Canyon elevator. He's going to be right next to Artifact Temple. Now would be a great time to grab those hints.
Absolutely. We have knowledge on 3, so that means we still have 3 remaining within all 4 to 5 regions of the game. Well, since we're talking about artifacts, where would you not want to see an artifact placed, Frigid? What would be the real troublesome?
The most troublesome artifact, and I can say this for anyone who plays Metroid Prime Randomizer, would be Phazon Mining Tunnel, because you need Phazon Suit to go in there, or an absurd amount of energy tanks and just perfect inputs to get through that. But the general consensus, it's better to wait for Phazon Suit, which the only hint for Phazon Suit is in Impact Crater, which you need all 6 artifacts for. So there's an artifact in Phazon Mining Tunnel. You have to get that. You have to get Phazon Suit without any hints. And there we have Grapple Beam on Fen Canyon.
Yeah, Bruh was going for it, but was just shy of making the jump.
Now he's trying to get out. I'm not sure if he's going to go for Grapple Beam or not. There are plenty of ways you can go about the game without Grapple Beam, but it looks like he's going for it.
Well, looks like we're doing some combat dashes. Second try, wonderful job. And now we have Grapple Beam.
Grapple Beam is a great way to get some of these checks. It's better for Magma Pool. It's better for getting over to Quarantine Monitor. Just
sorry. There's an artifact on Artifact Temple. I'm sorry. What heck of a spot for it.
Research Lab Hydra. And Biohazard Containment are the other ones. So As soon as Storm gets Spider Ball, all of the artifacts will be within his reach already. But that's if he makes his way to Lava Lake, which he could go anywhere at this point. In terms of knowledge, I would say that Storm is ahead, just on knowledge of where the artifacts are. But on terms of actually going places and getting items, Bra is ahead. He doesn't know where the Dynamo artifact is, but he is coming up in Research Lab Hydra, and he has super missiles to bust that open.
It's a very interesting situation both runners are in on different sides of the logic spectrum here. Storm's got the advanced knowledge, but hasn't cleared so much of the game. On the flip side, Bra's cleared out a good portion of Fendrana, followed by Chozo, and with those two being some of the largest areas out there, maybe Bra will stumble into the rest of the artifacts along normal travels.
Just to reply to a Kirby fan in chat here, we do not know where Gravity Suit is yet. Storm is making his way up to his ship. Is he going to be making... He's saving. Is he going to be taking a safe warp? Nope. He's going to be heading onward. Either taking the Talon Canyon elevator back, or he's going to be going and looking at Arbor Chamber potentially. Or not Arbor Chamber, but Root Cave. Arbor Chamber as well if he wants to go out of bounds.
I mean, I'd say go for it. Right now, we're still missing a good portion of items to even beat our game. We still need Plasma Beam. We need Ice Beam. Preferably, it'd be nice to have both visors, although not hard required.
Not hard required, but it does make it easier. You're right on that. It makes it... having both visors makes it a lot easier to fight the final boss of the game. If, for whatever reason, Omega Pirate is required, X-Ray Visor will be hard required for the fight. And yes, Storm is going out of bounds to break into Arbor Chamber. This is one of the most well-known out of bounds for Metroid Prime.
And it looks like we have an E-Tank on top of Observatory, so we don't need to go out of our way to get that. But just a missile expansion in Arbor Chamber today.
Again, any knowledge, even if it's unwanted knowledge, is good to have.
You can say that again. Knowledge is a great and powerful weapon.
And with great power comes great responsibility. Keep that in mind, viewers. Breaking down Control Tower. Bro's gonna go take a look at that treasure under there. Another E-Tank. Not bad.
Nope, not bad at all. Any energy that we find is greatly warranted.
Now, it's going to become a little interesting when Bra gets down there. Depending on the items that are there, he may have to turn back around and go through labs again. It'll depend on if he ends up finding Ice Beam down there somewhere, which is possible. And looking on the other screen, Storm's wandered into Phazon Mines. Curious on what he intends to do there.
I can only suspect maybe some upper mines cleanup. I mean, Wave Beam does help, but without Plasma Beam and Ice Beam, we're fairly limited on what we can do down here.
That is true. It looks like he just wanted to take a look at the main quarry room. He can't really go any further without Ice Beam. But sometimes that dead-end main quarry does have something. It happens from time to time. Bra has to reset, or choosing to reset, as it looks like Research Core didn't have anything important.
And Pierce Storm is also taking a reset, going all the way back to Starting Room, back to Chozo Ruins.
Mm-hmm.
So this begs the question, Frigid, where would both of our runners prefer to end up? I mean, granted, Bro would want to get into Talon, get some artifact hints, and figure out where specific we need to start making progress at. But as for Storm, where could we see our runners trying to get to?
Storm could be his main focus right now is trying to find Spider Ball. Knowing where Spider Ball is going to be the big factor. He'll be able to get most of his artifacts. The only one that might be in question after Spider Ball would be Biohazard Containment, and that's if he can find the lower tree elevator. If he can't, then he has to go in the front way, and he needs Ice Beam for that. Oh. Otherwise, on the flip side, it needs to take a look at as many checks as he can. He doesn't know where Artifact Temple is currently, so he can't check all of that. But otherwise, he's just kind of going through and methodically checking every place he can. He's going to bust open Magma Pool here. Take a look at that item. This is technically out of logic, but it's only a missile expansion, so no need to worry there.
Oh, and it looks like Storm has also picked up a Power Bomb expansion, allowing us to grab a nothing item.
Oh, both acquire nothing at the same time.
Well, this is a great way to play Prime. Just go through the rooms and pick up absolutely nothing. It's a choose-your-own-adventure game.
We can confirm on Shore Tunnel that is an E-Tank. And that's a nothing on the other Fiery Shores item.
And we're being told by chat that we have just missed a suit somewhere.
Was that in Training Chamber?
It looked like it. I believe it came out on Storm's side.
Does anybody have confirmation on which suit that was?
If I had to take a bet, I would hope that it's Gravity.
If it's Gravity, it can be bypassed. There's a lot of places in this game that you can just slope jump underwater and really not need gravity at all. If it's Phazon suit, then they're also going to need Boost Ball on top of the Spider Ball that already has.
Chat's collectively saying it's Phazon.
Or it could also be done by Wall Crawl. It depends on if Bra wants to do that. If it was Phazon suit, I would imagine he would have started wall crawling already, but maybe I'm wrong. Speaking of which, he has the upper Dynamo artifact now.
Wonderful. That means we're down to 2 artifacts remaining, with 3 on Storm's side, with knowledge of the 4th. We have knowledge on Upper Dynamo. I would say both runners. Let's see. We still need Biohazard Containment. Bra needs Artifact Temple, while Storm needs Research Lab Hydra. So Storm needs to make a way into Fendrana, while Bra needs one over in Talon.
That is correct. Technically, the Artifact Temple one is a freebie and would be collected as soon as he gets there. So yeah, you are technically correct. He only needs one more artifact.
But granted, as we're still saying, we're still missing a lot of equipment to even beat this game.
That is true. In addition to needing all your artifacts, you also need all of the beams and Phazon suits. Again, the X-ray and thermal visors are not necessarily required. They're just really nice to have to be able to lock onto Metroid Prime Essence. We have Bra fighting Zoid now, and Storm is making his way through Magmor Caverns. He's going to be coming up on Spider Ball here pretty darn quick.
This would be great as with this position of Magmor. It leads perfectly right into a Fendrana Dress elevator, where we can use that Spider Ball to good use.
Not only that, he can make his way to Research Lab Hydra, and then make his way back to Chozo Ruins if he so desires, or he could try and look around for a backwards frigate elevator. There are 2 elevators that could get him there. He could do the lower tree elevator, which would be preferred. Oh wait, no, he actually can't do lower right now without boost ball. I am completely mistaken on that.
You know,
If
over a
wants...
half hour in, I'm gonna call it right now. Something's gonna be on Thardus.
You want a Thardus fight?
Oh, absolutely.
You want a Thardus fight like everybody wants Aerie and Echoes.
Hey, it's a check you don't want to do. It takes too much time. It's out of the way. And 90% of the time, it's a check that gives you nothing good in return.
I feel like Flagra is more so of that sentiment. That's kind of out of the way, and then if you want to get the other check, you have to have knowledge in how to get back up there, or Spider Ball at the very least.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But as you were saying something about Fendrana and Storm coming over here with Research Lab Hydra.
Yep. And he's got Spider Ball now, so he's going to make his way over to, I would imagine, Research Lab Hydra. He would make a beeline for it. And he sees the main PBs on Fen Shorelines. Probably be going through a lot of these checks the same way that Bra did, and making sure he's not leaving any corner unchecked.
Oh, that's a bad pun that chat has, but I love it.
Flagger is a plant, but Thardus rocks.
Well, they're not wrong.
I love it.
And it doesn't look like Upper Furnace has anything of use to us right now.
No, I believe that was a missile expansion. So right now we're still missing these major items. We're still missing Ice Beam and Plasma Beam. We don't have Gravity or Phazon. We saw one of them in Training Chamber, although it is not entirely agreed upon which it is. Boost Ball is yet to be discovered, and we have Thermal and X-Ray Visors that have yet to be discovered.
All right, so we've got a very select number of items that gets us into go mode, with a good 3.5 areas left to clear. We've got the entirety of Phazon Mines to go through, a good portion of Fendrana. We've got, we did clear out Magmor for the most part, but then there's Talon and the Crash Frigate.
We know for a fact the Crash Frigate is required. We know that Chozo's required. We don't know if there is anything of importance in Phazon Mines. It is possible we could see that completely deleted from our game today. Not deleted, but irrelevant, I guess. Bra's making his way towards Reflecting Pool and Chozo Ruins, while Storm is continuing to clear out and check all the other corners of Fendrana Drifts.
Absolutely, and we can take this time to admire the wonderful suit colors these runners have chosen.
We've got Bra running with the standard vanilla game colors, and it looks like Storm's Varia suit is a beautiful shade of purple.
I was going to say pink, but purple works.
It's kind of like a magenta, where it's kind of between the two.
Now it's light red. That's what it is.
No,
It's a very light red.
There's a word for that, and it's pink. We all know that.
No, I think you're mistaken.
And I see you're a red versus blue fan as well. Very good culture.
It is a good show, I'll say that. But outside of colors, let's see where we're going to end up today.
Now, Bra is in Talon Overworld, so he's going to be hitting Artifact Temple and getting that artifact there. And then he's probably going to make a beeline down into... Oh, no, he still needs Ice Beam. He still needs Ice Beam or some way to go backwards in Frigate to get down to Biohazard Containment. But he is checking Crash Frigate first. Interesting. I suppose he can probably grab the item there, and then if Artifact Temple doesn't have anything of further progression than an artifact, then he can probably take another save warp or check the Root Cave elevator if he so chooses. And that's a power bomb expansion there.
Well, that's not a gravity suit. What are we supposed to do with that right now?
Why try and walk through gravity when you can just destroy it?
Ah, yes, physics. Who needs them?
And we have we've now set an argument in chat about what color truly is.
Well, I'm sure we're going to be hearing this one for a while. But I'm still telling you it's light red.
My next question is, when Storm collects the Hydra artifact, and I'm sure he's also going to be going through and checking Research Core, is he going to be trying to fight Thardus after that, or will he be taking a save warp?
If I were Storm in this situation, knowing what I have, I already know where my artifacts are, so I know what I need to collect them all. You're already in Phendrana. I would say start clearing out the area. You're still missing a good portion of major items to beat your game, and there's no information that you can get that would push you in one area compared to the other. So clear out the areas, get your bosses defeated, hope that you come across something that pushes you towards a specific area. I mean, you find Ice Beam, well, you're more inclined to go down towards Phazon. You find Plasma, well, maybe you want to stay here in Phendrana for a little bit more. It all depends on what lays beneath the rooms we have not yet spoken.
And coming up on the Research Lab, Hydra artifact. Storm is ripping his way through the pirates here, and finding some good standables to just kind of make his trip shorter, although the pirates are giving him quite a bit of a difficult time.
Ah yes, well I'm in the middle of fighting this wonderful space pirate, highly trained military professional. Let me just stand here and try to jump on various guardrails and do some parkour. I'm sure the pirate won't mind.
Hey, Samus is just trying to get her daily exercise in, and the pirates are just kind of being in the way. That's really rude, if you ask me.
All right, that's fair. But on the flip side, it appears Bra has found some invisible platforms to use to his advantage.
That is thanks to the Root Cave platforms there, and I'm sure he's also going to be going out of bounds to collect that missile expansion.
Well, thankfully, gotta love the quality of life Prime has. Even if you can't see the invisible platforms, their collision is still active.
I believe we did not see it. Yeah, no, we did see it. Storm did collect that artifact back in Research Lab Hydra. He should be up to 4 artifacts now. If I'm not mistaken, at least.
I believe so. Upper Dynamo, Hive Totem, Tower of Light.
He hasn't collected Upper Dynamo. That was Bruh.
Nope.
He's collected Tower of Light, Hive Totem, Artifact Temple, and Research Lab Hydra. He's back down to 2.
Oh, we suddenly lost an artifact. Oh no! You know what? That's we're doing a competitive race here. There's special items added in Prime where you collect them, you steal your race opponent's items from them.
Oh my goodness. Can we get some, what is it called? We need, I want to see randomizer crowd control.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh yeah. Come on, someone's got to get that out there.
That would be harsh. That'd be mean.
That'd be fun to watch, though.
Oh, absolutely. Just not fun to play.
Yep. I'll be the guinea pig. I'll do it.
Oh, great. I'll be sure to spend a lot of money. Or bits, as they call them. Or whatever these technical fancy terms are.
Storm's taking a safety save right before going towards Research Core. And he'll need it, as he won't see anything important on his way there, so he'll probably take a reset, getting back to that save station and heading back. Bruh is also in Phase on Mines once again, or not once again, checking Phase on Mines' main quarry, didn't see that there was anything there, can't go any further because of Ice Beam, and is taking a save warp back to the beginning room. I'm wondering now what Bruh's next course of action is. I think he's gotten a lot of what he can get in within Chozo Ruins, and the only thing he hasn't checked is any of the other elevators in Far Magmore or Stardust. Or no, he's gonna go for the out of bounds for Training Chamber. So that is probably either Gravity Suit. Well, it can still be either Gravity Suit or Phazon Suit. If it's a Gravity Suit, it'd be a great way for him to go backwards through Frigate to grab the artifacts and biohazard containment. If it's Phazon Suit, then that's just one more thing out of the way. Oh, that's true. Neither racers have seen Flagra yet as well. That could contain something important as well.
Absolutely. And here we see the wonderful act of Prime, where if you can stand on it, you can definitely stand on it. If it looks like it, it can be done.
Must be the shoes.
Ah, yeah, the size 25 shoes with the 54-inch heels. Just jump over the...
Just how big do you think Samus's feet are? My God!
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You just jump over. You see how big that suit of armor is? Use it to your advantage. Start kicking your enemies.
Start kicking your enemies. Marion Law 2024.
Do not quote me on that. And that's a confirmed Gravity Suit.
That's Gravity Suit on Training Chamber.
God, if you're going to quote me for this year, don't let it be that. I don't sponsor violence in any means.
That's true. We don't here.
We're here to have laughter, fun, some good times, and enjoy the wonderful games that this channel has to offer.
Mm-hmm. So now we have Bruh incorporated with well, assuming he's going to get out of bounds successfully here, he'll have Gravity Suit. He'll be able to find a Great Tree Chamber elevator, whether it be upper or lower, and make his way through to Biohazard Containment and get that last artifact. And then he could fight Ridley and look up the Phazon Suit hint.
Fantastic.
Right now, I would give the edge to Bruh, as he has knowledge and he has a bit more in the way of equipment than Storm does. And he only has one more artifact to collect, and that being Biohazard Containment. He has the Super Missiles to bust open that check. He just needs a way to get there. And it looks like he's making his way, I'm going to guess, towards Flagra. And he's going to skip the scannable runes here. He's going to bomb jump over the door at the top of the room. That is, as long as he can see where he's going and make his way to the top. It is a very dark room.
Oh, well, that's okay. The light from the Gravity Suit will help show us the way.
Not only that, but also the Chozo Ghosts doing their job as well, and making a laser light show. Storm is back in Chozo Ruins now. It looks like he is in Magma Pool. Probably going to bust open that wall and then take a look at TCA and Training Chamber and realize that Gravity Suit is there. And then we'll see if he's going to wall crawl for that item or if he's going to leave it be for now. Bruh now fighting Flagra.
Wonderful giant plants.
We appreciate our commentary from Gerbil in the chat.
Hey, we're not here to discuss anything on Echoes. This is Prime State of Shine. All right. This is for this. Today is about Prime. And Flagra has been defeated, which hides just anything.
Although now that Bra has Spider Ball, he is able to just go down to the bottom of that top track and then make his way back up and trigger the ghosts. And it looks like Storm is making his way up to Flagra as well. And first try with the door skip, very well done.
As we sit here in the eerie silence, wondering about the ghost's ghastly hollows.
The ghost of Chozo's past.
Yep, that means we got 3. Well, I mean, there are 3 ghosts in this room.
Yeah, there you go. Now we have both racers in the same room and Sun Chamber giving each other a high five, although they're going for completely different checks.
Absolutely. One's got to defeat the plant, and one has to defeat the plant's essence.
I don't think that was the plant's essence. I think that the Sun Chamber is a holy site for the Chozo, so they're just reclaiming that, so to speak.
I mean, you got this big old 3 different ghosts coming out of the plant's flower. I mean, it's
they're just relishing the fact that he's being disposed of. You know, a healthy plant trimming, so to speak.
I think you need to find a new landscaper.
And our... That's Ice Beam on ghosts!
Well, that'll get us into Phazon Mines.
More importantly, that's going to get us down to the frigate to get that last artifact.
And I still stand by it. You really should hire a better landscaper if they're hiding your valuables inside of the plant they're meant to trim.
While Storm is here in Chozo Ruins, it'd be prudent for him, after he collects the Ice Beam, to go to Dynamo and collect that artifact before he heads back to Talon Overworld. Oh, and he did not trigger the ghosts yet.
Oh,
he didn't go far enough down to trigger that.
Gotta backtrack a little bit. Now, it looks like Bra's taking another elevator to the north side of Magmore.
Yep, that's over by Workstation. He could take another one if he so chose. He's checking the Workstation item, which is a missile expansion. And it looks like he is going towards the debris elevator. I'm seeing what that holds. It could be Chozo Ruins. It could be Talon Overworld. It could be Phazon Mines. We still don't have any idea on that. That's Great Tree Hall Upper. He's deciding if he wants to go in or not. He has to bomb jump over the bars, and it looks like he's going to attempt it. Gerbil, I do want to point out that oh, on Thardus, excuse me, I thought you were saying Plasma on OP. I was going to say that is impossible, but Plasma on Thardus, I think that'd be fun.
You know what? No, I'll just take it one step farther. Put it on PPC.
You're agreeing with Wyvern in that case, I see.
Yeah, yes, I am. I'm agreeing with Wyvern in chat. Put it on PPC. Make them get their Phazon suit before they're able to get Plasma.
I want vanilla Plasma. Put it on Plasma Processing. Make them have to go for Boost Ball or Out of Bounds. Now we have Run Incorporated trying to do bar skip with a exact bomb jump. This is a very tough trick sometimes, as there is a small window to be able to squeeze out between the bars and the upper part of the cave there. Now Storm is out of Flagra's room. He has Ice Beam. He's going to make his way, looks like, towards Dynamo, like I anticipated. And Bra is out. He is into the frigate now. He has Gravity Suit. He's going to make his way towards Biohazard Containment to get that last artifact. And then scramble up to make it back to Artifact Temple. And that's
Oh.
X-ray visor.
That'll help us.
That will.
You know, it'd be nice if we find thermal visor while going through this frigate area as well.
It is possible. It would have to be on the crashed frigate lift.
Well, as both runners continue through, collecting artifacts and hunting for the remaining majors, we get to relish in the peace and tranquility of Crash Frigate's music.
This is one of my favorite tracks of the whole series. The other one being of, well, I'm sure it's your favorite as well, Lower Torvus.
I will agree, Lower Torvus does have some good music, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would have to be Cliffside Brio from Corruption.
Oh yeah, there is something just really fun about that music.
Oh, and we know the question posed, do you need thermal visor for logical access to your cargo freight lift?
Let me check here.
And Wyvern's getting us confirmation that no, not from the reverse side of it. So,
That is correct. Reverse frigate is possible, and the doors are open until you step through them and unload the room. Going back through frigate, yes, because invisible items are disabled. It is logically requiring you to have thermal visor and wave beam.
And that was just a nothing item.
Storm is now in the last, or rather in the first few rooms, trying to climb up reactor core and get out of frigate. And Storm is making his way back into Hall of the Elders. I think he's going for the ice beam check there. Which, it is possible that that could hold plasma beam as well.
Yep, anything is possible. It could be underneath the statue. It could be hiding on Thardus, put it on PPC.
It is going to come down to who can find plasma beam and phazon suit. Phazon suit hint will be gathered as soon as Bruh can defeat Meta Ridley and take a step into the impact crater.
Now, even though we can fight Meta Ridley, I think the one thing that's going to be a little bit different is we don't have boost ball for this fight.
That is true. So it's going to be more drawn out than it usually is in these speedruns. Boost ball is usually used to hit Meta Ridley's feet when he lands the first time around, and that takes out 2/3 of his health, or 75% of it, and forces him into a second phase. Without that boost ball, Bruh's going to have to go through the entire game, or the entire fight normally, until he burns up his wings the normal way.
So, in short, we're having Meta Ridley stub his toe and then step on a Lego.
More or less. And there, Storm's found a really good elevator in the back of Chozo Ruins that leads to the frigate crash site.
And vice versa, Bruh just found the Chozo Ruins south elevator off of frigate. So they're just going to take the same elevator and pass each other.
What? Why? Why is Bruh just going to go and look for... I suppose Plasma Beam would be the most powerful beam to go against Meta Ridley, but even still, it'd be more prudent to fight Meta Ridley first, I would think. And it looks like Storm was taking a look at which elevator was the main quarry elevator, so he might be going there instead of Biohazard?
This sure is a very confusing route.
Although you will need thermal logically to get biohazard containment, I would see more logic in getting it now so you have it instead of bypassing it for now.
Well, I wonder if Storm's trying to go through frigate backwards to try to avoid the thermal requirement.
Perhaps. Very, very interesting logic for both racers here. Bruh defeated the Chozo Ghost within all of the Elders and ghosts, as he has already activated the statue. Finding that missile expansion, and now I believe he's going to be making his way out again. Now that he's making his way back to that elevator, I would assume. He's probably on his way to go fight Meta Ridley now. No, he's taking the other elevator by the save station. Soaring Wyvern, I do want to reiterate, because invisible objects is not anywhere in the trick settings, they would anticipate you have thermal visor to be able to activate all the electrical nodes with wave beam.
Well, we didn't figure anything out, but it appears Storm is going to dive deeper into the Phazon mines.
That is correct. And Bruh's also bypassing Artifact Temple once again, also going towards Phazon mines.
I can only suspect that both of these runners, granted, while they could go fight Ridley, get their Phazon suit hints, with how much Phazon mines has open at the moment due to Ice Beam and Wave Beam, there's a strong probability that Plasma Beam is also hiding down here.
Yes, Wyvern, reverse frigate is set to allowed. Our runners can traverse frigate backwards without need of invisible objects.
And chat's wondering why we're not fighting Ridley at the current moment. There's a few explanations.
Ooh, there's
on
Boost
why.
Ball.
Well, that's a good reason. We just found Boost Ball by going through mines. Boost Ball significantly reduces the amount of time the fight takes. But on the flip side, runners don't want to go to places they don't have to. You want to really make your checks as a straight line. So if we're trying to find Plasma Beam, if we do come across Plasma Beam in our hunts for Phazon suit down here in the mines, we could just use Plasma Beam, significantly lower the fight, find our Phazon suit hint, and just make a beeline for that.
Although I do want to point out, now that Storm has Boost Ball, Plasma Processing is open.
Oh, and it's a good point that that chat's making. Storm doesn't have Gravity Suit yet for Frigate.
He does not have Gravity Suit. I forgot about that.
So could Storm do Reverse Frigate without Gravity?
Now that he has Boost Ball, he could. Getting through Hydro Access Tunnel is impossible without Boost Ball and Gravity Suit. You need at least one of those two to make it through. If we see that, I'll explain it as we go, but just know that Boost Ball is possible to get through there. The other thing that we want to keep in mind is that he could always go through front as well. It'd be out of logic, I think, but he could definitely go through Frigate without Gravity Suit, so long as he knows where all the wave nodes are. The invisible objects are disabled, but that's not going to stop any of the runners from doing that. Both runners are in ore processing, performing this really impressive scaling of the central pillar. Looks like Storm is through first. They're both making their way down to elevator A. And they're both on the elevator at the same time. Although right now, Bruh is technically ahead just by a little bit, just because he has that 6th artifact. He's just hunting for Plasma Beam, I think.
Yeah, Plasma Beam or Phazon Suit. Either one would be great right now. Plasma Beam would be the preferred. but X-ray visor as well. Since X-ray was found in Frigate. Or maybe it wasn't.
It looks like Storm is just bypassing the Elite Pirate altogether and going up towards the top of the room. And Bruh, after defeating the Elite Pirate, is doing the same thing now. Vent Shaft doesn't appear to have anything important, so Storm's going to continue on. I didn't know you could go into those computers in morph ball form like that. The more you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Wyvern, please.
Imagine if Phazon is vanilla, with X-ray being hard required.
Ra has that capability to be able to go fight Omega Pirate as soon as he finds Plasma Beam. Storm has neither of those things. Looks like Bra took a look at the central dynamo item and is not impressed by it. He's turning right around, and Bra is going full force into it.
I wonder if we get a good puzzle off of this. It appears just to be an E-Tank.
Well, he is good. Having to go through a puzzle, though, might increase Storm's time a little bit here, as Bra is making his way out of Vent Shaft and is down to his last E-Tank.
Oh, this is one of the longer puzzles, it seems.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Oh, no, that's Wave Buster.
Oh!
That's not an E-Tank, that's a Wave Buster.
That's pretty powerful, though. So the main items that we're missing right now are Plasma Beam, Phazon Suit, and Thermal Visor. Thermal Visor is not important in terms of overall completion, but it is important in some logic change, including going through Underwater Frigate. Bra's climbing PPC, as it looks like there's not really anything else the racers can do at this moment. There is MQA, but that would involve having to go over to that area, check to see what it is, and have it maybe be nothing of value, and then having to move back. It could just be, I think the logic here is that if it's the last check, if it is Plasma Beam, it's very unlikely, and it just leads more... I'm terrible at explaining logic.
I think you're doing fine.
Oh no!
And yet, main power bombs are still locked behind ice in Fendrana.
This is true as well. So, Plasma Beam is technically required to get main power bombs. And Bra is in Far Fendrana going to check Human and then probably fight Thardus.
Yes, we should fight Thardus, destroy the rocks with a swift kick.
Human is only a missile expansion. And are we going to wake the sleeping giant? No! Oh. Although now it might...
Please go into this. Come on. Oh,
Bra is going to leave and head towards the rest of Farfen, and he can do that now since he has Ice Beam in his power.
Imagine if Thardus did actually have plasma.
It very well could, you never know.
The boulder is disappointed. I feel like that's an Avatar reference, but I'm not sure.
That is, I believe, Legend of Korra.
Neither one.
It's the same universe.
Oh yeah. They were both all right. And it is. Well, I love it.
I have not watched. I have not watched Avatar or The Legend of Korra, but I know both. I know the time frame of which both shows come out and when the memes started circulating. So the boulder is disappointed I attribute to Legend of Korra.
I strongly recommend that you watch both of them. They are pretty good shows.
What is that down in Gravity Chamber? Doesn't look like anything, just a missile expansion. Bruh's gonna bypass it. He is still less than an E-tank here in health. He's got to be careful he doesn't get too careless.
Well, maybe Storm will fight.
Nope, Storm is bypassing Stardust as well.
Fight the rock monster already! Alright, fine.
Bra is now on Phendrana's edge and taking care of the flying pirates there. Although he is very low on health.
Gotta be careful.
One wrong move, he could end up accidentally careening into an unwanted... Oh, nope, there's a golden energy. Now Bra is trying to slope jump up to a standable he can use to slope jump once again up to another platform. Although Storm seems to be taking a different route. He seems to be going through Frost Cave instead of Hunter Cave. And sees something... Nope. Okay, he's just using that platform to get over to that wave door.
Yeah, both are searching different sections of Far Phendrana. So far, no luck has been found with the remaining items that we need.
Dacian, you don't get any benefit of having low health in Metroid Prime. Just... Oh, there's Plasma Beam!
Come on!
That was on Security Cave!
Alright, well, now that we know where Plasma Beam is, that begs the question. Where's our Phazon suit? Never mind! I should learn to stop talking while I'm ahead! They're right next to each other!
In Storage Cave. Well, there you go. Bra has everything he needs to go fight Matter Ridley and full clear his... well, not full clear, but finish his game now.
Oh no! What's Storm doing?
I'm not sure.
Storm fell into the bottom of this entire room.
Oh, Storm's out of power bombs.
Oh, no, that's bad timing.
It really is. Oh no.
That's giving Bro the opportunity to just streamline ahead.
Now that he has everything, he has that 6th artifact. The finish line is in sight for him.
Oh no. And there's a save station to take a save warp back to Chozo.
Oh boy.
I think it's safe to call this, Bridget, that I would say Bra has a successful race win here.
I would be inclined to agree, but I'm not going to call it just yet, as you never know what might happen.
That's absolutely true.
There's always such a thing as snatching victory from the jaws of defeat.
Oh yeah, we saw that last night with the Echoes race.
Indeed.
Both runners neck and neck at the final bosses at the same time and just seconds apart.
If anybody hasn't seen that race, I highly recommend you go watch it.
Now, it's also good to point out, Storm is still missing the frigate artifact in Hydra.
He is.
No, not Hydra.
In Biohazard Containment.
Biohazard, yeah. That's the one.
I'm curious
so Storm still has to go through it.
I'm curious in what he's trying to go for here.
I'm confused. I got nothing. You're the prime expert in this commentary booth right now. So
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he's trying to find a maybe he's going to go for the gravityless frigate strat and go for that artifact. Maybe he's going to go for backwards frigate. He is going for that save station, and that'll take him back to Chozo Ruins.
Oh, that's painful.
It is.
He's right next to Phazon's suit. And yeah, there's the confirmed save warp.
It is. My heart always breaks when they're right next to it, and then they go and check the hint, and it is exactly right next to where they were. Ugh. Meanwhile, Bruh is ripping his way through Chozo Ruins. Now he's back into Talon Overworld. He's ready to fight Ridley.
With a beautiful neon blue glow from that suit of armor.
I do want to point out, Bruh only has 3 E-Tanks. Although it is technically a comfortable... it is a comfortable standing for anyone to be able to fight Ridley with. If, for whatever reason, RNG does not go his way, or if he slips up enough times, he could end up taking a death here. It all kind of depends on how Meta Ridley wants to play today. And it looks like he's trying to crawl his way up this wall instead of taking the intended route. And he's got it. Storm once again ripping his way through Chozo Ruins as well. He's going towards Fountain. He's going to go for a training chamber and get that gravity suit, and then go get that artifact. Fight Meta Ridley, check his hint, and then he's going to see that it's storage cave for the Phazon suit, which meets him with the question, where is Plasma Beam? We know where Plasma Beam is now.
He already has Plasma Beam.
Oh, he does? Oh, my mistake.
Yeah, they picked up Plasma Beam at roughly the same time.
Okay, my mistake then.
You're all right. No worries at all. We have all the beams. It's just that pesky little Phazon suit.
Those pesky plumbers.
While Bruh continues to fire the power beam in succession to the beat of the music. And this is a really nice theme.
One of my favorite boss themes. It's really just an energetic theme and fits this redesigned Ridley very well.
Absolutely. Completely agree.
And we have Bruh taking the quick missile strats here, which seems to be serving him really well, except now Ridley is trying to charge at him. Good shot on his mouth as he was rearing up again.
Or should do it.
There he is. He's into the impact crater now. Taking a look over at our race room page, it looks like no racers have finished yet, although we do have one DNF. Now Bruh is attempting a room climb here, which I have now learned how to do that. It's fairly simple, but it can be temperamental sometimes, and frustrating if the Fission Metroids in Phazon Core are a little aggressive. But he does it beautifully first try and is on to go fight Metroid Prime. Form's now in Magmor Caverns, it looks like. Is he heading towards Phazon or Plasma Processing? Or maybe the other Talon Overworld elevator.
Well, either way, it's going to be a sadly a long journey for Storm to take.
It is. Bruh's already on to the second room of Metroid Prime Exo. He's doing a very good job on reading his faces and and his timing on shooting his super missiles. This will be a very quick second room, as all he has to do now is shoot Ice Spreader into him, and that's the end of the second room. Just like that. On to the third room now. Plasma Beam is open, and it is the first face that he chooses as he latches on to Bruh. Bruh is just laying into Metroid Prime. He's doing phenomenal work, very methodical. And then one more super missile to be done with the third room here. And just like that, we're on to the final room of Exo, where he's going to be able to flip back and forth between any face he so desires. And taking a look back over at Storm, he's going into Life Grove. He had Boost Fall, but he is able to do that skip successfully. Get another missile expansion. Storm having a little bit of difficulty trying to get into Life Grove, as Morphall, or at least the tunnels, don't seem to be appreciating him very much. Bruh is already done with Exo, and he's on his way to Metroid Prime Essence. Ooh, that was on, oh, never mind, that was something else. Alright, now the biggest, will be coming up on time for Bruh Incorporated shortly, pending the Metroid Prime fight. The biggest thing that Bruh wants to do to get through this fight quickly is to cycle through these animations for Metroid Prime with his Phazon Beam. Instead of just full-on pulling the trigger for the Phazon Beam, he is sporadically shooting it as to cycle through his animations. Every time he fires and connects the Phazon Beam with Metroid Prime, it interrupts those animations. The only problem is that he does not have Thermal Visor, although I'm not sure why he's not using X-Ray Visor. Now Storm has gone through Hydroactive Tunnel and picked up X-Ray Visor himself. He's going to make his way through the frigate, is going to collect that last artifact, as well as go fight Meta Ridley.
Yep, there's not much left to this race, sadly. Well, the good thing is Storm's finally reached Frigate to go get that last artifact.
There it is. We now have all 6 artifacts collected by both racers. All that remains for Storm at this moment is collecting Phazon suits, which we know where that is, sadly enough. It is on Storage Cave. And that's time for Bruh Incorporated with a time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 45 seconds.
There you go, GG's.
And confirming over on race time, Bruh is the first overall to finish in today's race. Congratulations to Bruh Incorporated for another fantastic showing in a race this weekend. Let's go make sure that invites are sent out. Do we manually send those invites out, or is that the bot that does that?
No, the bot will do that. Have you, I'll double check on the technical side. Give me 1 second. But nope, it should be good. We just gotta wait on Storm's feed.
Mm-hmm.
As I believe Storm is close enough that they might just go for the game ending.
Well, he still needs Phazon suit, though. He'll go for fighting Meta Ridley, and then he has to scan that. He has to scan that hint to see where Phazon suit lies, and then go back to Phendrana and collect it in Storage Cave, and then come back to Talon Overworld once again. And here, as the credits roll, we can see where Thermal Visor ends up being. Storm is ripping his way through Talon Overworld. He is ready to fight Meta Ridley now as well. In this instance, it looks like Storm has more E-Tanks than Brud did when he fought Meta Ridley, and will probably have a little bit less of a stressful time about going about it. Yeah, I think he has more missiles as well, so we'll see what strategy he plans to implement. Oh, he didn't stop at the ship, though. Maybe that doesn't quite matter, as if he just does a single missiles thing that Brud did, then that leads into a very quick, very cheap way to defeat him as well.
Yep, we just gotta wait and see what happens.
Indeed. Huh.
And it appears that the invite has not successfully been sent out from the bot. It may be tied to when Storm's feed ends, but I don't think that's correct. Nope, I think I know why. I don't believe Res information was updated properly in the feed. One moment.
Are we able to send him an invite manually?
Yes, but that has to be done by Sam or someone at SpeedGaming. One moment.
Got it. All right, we're coming up on our list of items here on the last part of the credits. I'm just kind of going through again. Wave Beam was on Ruined Shrine. Ice Beam was on Sun Chamber. Grapple Beam was Fen Canyon. Thermal Visor was in Elder Chamber behind Plasma Beam.
Yeah, they were not going to go back for that.
No. And Storm now sees the hint that the Phazon suit is in Phendrana Drifts. He's checking through everything. And right now his logic is the only places he has not been is Storage Cave and Thardus.
Yeah, so now he must be thinking about what the fastest method is to get to that section of Phendrana.
Might be to take a save warp.
All right, the technical issue for the invite has been resolved. We should be seeing Broad Incorporated joining us in just a few minutes here. Make that a few seconds.
Hello.
Joining us in the booth now is Broad Incorporated, our winner in today's restream and in today's race overall. Welcome and congratulations.
How's it?
Yeah, it was. It was bad.
The first two items were Tower Chamber and Tower of Light. That was kind of a dumb start.
Yeah, that was funny. I actually got confused for a second because for some reason I thought you needed morph to leave Ruin Shrine. So I was like, what?
Well, you didn't need morph, but you needed missiles, which was
Yeah.
the tower chamber item.
Yeah. But the ice on ghosts was just like.
Ugh. No one likes to go through Plagra, whether they have the items or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to not last location that ice beam like I did. Like I'm pretty sure I literally didn't have any other checks that it could have been. And it was pretty close with the plasma as well. I was like,
Plasma and Phazon suit right on top of each other, which
Oh, yeah.
what's the logic chain for that? You had to go to Security Cave to get Plasma, and then go back to Fen Shorelines to pick up power bombs, and then go all the way back again to Storage Cave to get Phazon suit.
yeah, I never even thought about that, but that is funny logic.
That is yucky logic.
Yeah. Plasma, seeing those main PBs plasma lock was interesting. But it was just annoying that plasma was in Farfen. It's like, if I'm looking for plasma beam and like nothing else, like I mean I was technically looking for face on suit as well, but like I was just planning to get the hint for it, right? But if I'm looking for plasma beam, the one place I don't want to go is Farfen. Because if I go to Farfen, not only am I going to have to leave Storage Cave behind if it's not there, but I also, like, a lot of those checks need plasma, logically, except for, like, Security Cave. And so I was like, you know, like I wanted to... I always put off Farfen until the very end in a plasma hunt situation. So the fact that it was exactly there, and that I got it pretty late. So I was worried that I was behind when I found that, especially with the Phazon suit right there. I was like, okay, if he found this plasma before me, I'm cooked. And did he find the plasma before me? Because I see he got plasma, but he didn't get Phazon.
So, what happened is that you both collected Plasma Beam at the exact same time.
Oh, wow.
The difference is that he ran out of power bombs.
Oh, did he not peek it?
No.
Did he have X-ray or not?
He did not have X-ray at the time, no.
Yeah, if you don't have power bombs, you can peek that item with X-ray, which actually I did that, and then I saw it was Phazon, but you can charge a plasma beam shot and shoot it at like the wall that you use the power bomb on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the door will open, and then you can use X-ray visor to like look through the wall, and so you can see what item's there. But yeah, if you don't have X-ray, it makes sense. That's just unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. You also found Gravity Suit first. That was where was it? Training Chamber, and you were able to wall crawl for that.
Yeah, I was like, I saw it at first, and I contemplated just immediately doing that wall crawl. But then I was like, nah, because I don't want to, like, I did it eventually because I knew I had to go back for Biohazard for the artifacts. But at the time, I didn't know that I had to do that, so I wanted to put it off.
Hmm.
But I did. But I did. So I knew it was saving time. And I just didn't want, like, because I didn't know if I was going to do Boost. Because Boost could very easily be blocked by power bombs. It could have been.
It was a good showing. It was between you and Storm, there were quite a few different route differences. Where you decided to go for Magmore Caverns right away after collecting various suits, he found the Talon Canyon elevator and decided to go check for hints right away. He also, at first, attempted to get the upper Dynamo artifact after peaking it by going out of bounds, but he unfortunately was not able to be successful in that endeavor.
Yeah, you need to move forward. I bet he was just trying to keep what time it was, which is something you can do. I tend to not like doing it just because it's like it takes like 2 minutes of your time to keep that one check. It just doesn't feel worth it.
I would imagine it's probably not worth it unless you have Boost Ball and the ability to get that right away.
Well, yeah, some people just prefer to keep it so that they don't have to worry about it. I tend to not do that. But it can be worth it. Like 9 times out of 10, it's not worth. Actually, probably more like 24 out of 25 times, it's not actually.
So take us through the very first like 10 minutes of the game. Opened up very quickly for the racers today. What was with Morph Ball, with Missile Launcher, with bombs and space jump starting off? What was your logic? What was your thought process behind all of that? Was so many checks open right away?
Well, so I had waves, so I knew that I could get to that elevator the reflecting pool elevator. But then I just found the Varia in Watery Hall, I think it was, and I figured it was probably best to go towards Mag more because Varia kind of points you in that direction. And it did kind of want you to go that way, getting the Spider Ball, and it worked out because, you know, I got Spider, and I saw the main PBs, and I got, well, there was an artifact, I think, in Mystery Cloud Finder that I also managed to get.
Yep.
So, that was pretty worth it. Going back, I maybe could have tried to skip Zoid, but I don't really regret that. I think I played it fine, like, just leaving Fogger till last generally makes less sense.
It does.
That's exactly what I did.
Nobody likes to fight the bosses unless they absolutely have to, so if there are any major items on those bosses, they tend to be later on in the run. We did see Stardust fight to be quicker to get through to Farfen than going through labs. Logically, it was kind of a rough seed, but in terms of artifacts, it actually wasn't all that bad. The worst one was the worst one, in my opinion, was probably biohazard containment because
Yeah, for sure.
you just like the biggest thing about getting to biohazard containment is just getting there. You both had super missiles very early. That was the main plaza ledge.
Yeah. And with Biohazard, it's like, if you don't get gravity, it's not hard to get there without gravity, but it's so slow. Like, not having gravity is so slow.
Alternatively, the other way you could go about getting there instead of the front way is you would need Boost Ball to get through Hydro Access Tunnel.
Yeah. That's also pretty slow, though, because you still have to go through a bunch of rooms, even if you come from that direction. And there's the one room, if you do reverse Graphless Frigate, one of the first rooms, like I think it's the room directly after Hydro Access Tunnel.
Yeah, that...
Just, like, wait for a minute while you rise up.
Yeah.
So,
I think Storm has collected Phazon suit. I think he's on his way back to a save warp now.
actually, I didn't see him pick it up.
Or maybe he's doing another check?
I think he's trying to get a power bomb.
There it is.
I think it drops here.
My goodness, he had to go all that way to grab a power bomb.
Gotta love the prime drop system.
Yeah,
Some do, some don't.
The crates in Control Tower have a 1 in 7 of giving you a power bomb. So,
It's odd that specific rooms have a specific RNG for that kind of thing. I know a lot of the rooms in Phazon Mines have a guarantee for power bomb drops.
yeah.
And Central Dynamo and Elite Control being two of them. Or was it a Mega Research I'm thinking of?
Mines is pretty kind with the PB drops, but Farfen specifically is not.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, having to go all the way to Control Tower is not actually that rare.
Ripping through Fendrana with that boost ball. He is determined to get this done. I think we'll see a sub 2 from Storm today.
Yeah, for sure.
What were your first thoughts upon seeing, before anything else, that space jump was your starting item?
I mean, we already knew it doesn't show as a start, so I just knew it would be relatively tame.
That's true. I was hoping for phase on mine start.
Yeah.
And there it is. There's Storm's Phazon suit. No, he is not happy.
I wouldn't be happy with knowing I was right next to the room that it was in and couldn't get it.
Hey, let's go. We have the same Phazon suit color.
Nice. It is a pleasing color combination, especially for Fendrana drifts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that Phazon suit should be blue, right? Like, Phazon is blue.
Yeah, I mean, explain the red Phazon that's in the impact crater.
That's
technically not Phazon, right?
It's more potent than Phazon, but it begs the question: what is that stuff doing there?
It's Ultra Phazon. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I know that was bad.
They had to make some sort of unexplicable material that was still more dangerous and unable to be shielded by even your strongest suit. So
yeah.
Well, Storm's back in Chozo Ruin, so it should be coming up pretty quickly to the elevator, leading back to Artifact Temple.
He's got to go all the way back into the back rooms once more. But that should be the save station side elevator, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that one went to Talon Canyon. Actually, both of these elevators went to early Talon. Which was kind of fun.
Oh yeah, that is right. The far end one took you to Crash Site.
Yeah.
Which it was funny because he discovered the Chozo end of that elevator, and you discovered the Talon side of the elevator at the exact same time, and you both took it at the exact same time.
Oh.
So you two swapped places, essentially, at the same time. You kind of high-fived without high-fiving.
Yeah, I'm interested to rewatch this and see how the different routes worked out. That was an interesting see, though. It's just kind of long. Just because of that ice on Ghosts. I mean, having ice on Ghosts is always going to make the seat long.
Well, still, you got a sub 130 time. That's very close to your time yesterday for Echoes.
Yeah, I mean, Prime should always be way faster than Echoes, though.
That is true. Prime is more...
long Prime season that one was a relatively quick Echo season.
Prime is more geared to be kind of a sprint through the game, where Echoes is more methodical, and you kind of need specific items for specific checks.
Yeah, exactly. Still, I feel like I played it okay. I mean, I could have gone Plasma sooner, but...
No one knows. There's no hint system in this game outside of artifacts and Phazon suits. At least as of right now, we don't know if there's any plans to implement more hints in this side of Randomania.
I don't think so. It's been discussed before, and it's always just been like the result of the conversation is generally just that they don't want to do it. Because like in Echoes, you have like the lore scans, which are just really good places to put hints because they're kind of evenly scattered throughout all the regions. But
That's
kind
fair.
Of the question of what do you make hints in Prime that are like equally distributed through all the regions? And there's kind of no good answer. That said, I think they should add Prime hints. Because although we don't really need them in solo rando, it works without hints. But it could be useful if there's ever like solo CGC kind of competitions, because then you really want to have hints for Prime.
Yeah, because then you can look back and forth between both sides. And even if it's not solo CGC, just having hints for Prime in the CGC race would be helpful in general for both racers.
That's true, but it's more important in the solo CGC setting, because generally in CGC, like, Prime is just kind of moving anyways. It's not really, like, they don't have that much that they need to think about, or, like, many options available to them at any given point. But I think I would like to see that happen eventually.
And Storm is climbing Phazon Core and is heading his way for Phazon Infusion Chamber, where Metroid Prime awaits. He's got a solid 7 E-tanks and 120 missiles. Also, that was an impressive showing with only 3 E-tanks through the entire game.
Oh yeah, I was just like, I had to reset out of all those E-tanks and labs. And I was like I would have had like, but I kind of had to be careful in a few places because
you made me really nervous in Fendrana's Edge.
Oh yeah, that was 3 is enough for like most.
Mine would have been rough if you had only 3. If you had only 3 E-tanks. Thankfully, you didn't need to go any lower than you did. There was a Wave Buster hiding on Central Dynamo.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize what that is. I was looking at it and I was like, what is that? And I think that was Wave Buster.
We actually, I didn't know if you took a look at it as, I didn't catch it. I didn't see where Flamethrower was.
No, I didn't see it.
I don't know if anybody else in chat seemed to have picked that up either. Probably not. Flamethrower is not heavily favored.
Storage Depot A. It was vanilla.
Oh, gross.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah, no one was getting that one either. Same with Thermal Visor.
Yeah, it was just lost.
No one likes to open up plasma doors that late.
Especially with plasma days on YouTube, you know what I was doing right next to each other.
Yeah.
That was a real good coincidence for it happening.
I don't think I've seen that before, though, just having them right next to each other like that.
Yeah, not pretty uncommon.
Oh,
I mean,
that...
There's one seed I remember that you find Boost Call, Super Missiles, and all of them were in lower mines.
Oh.
Oh, that's hilarious.
With the power bombs. Probably I'll make a one.
Congratulations to Marcus Mass for taking second overall in today's race.
I need to go do something.
Before you leave, any final thoughts or comments?
Nah, I mean, it was overall no way.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the booth today. Congratulations again on your win today. And we hope that you have a good rest of your day.
All right, have a good one. So with that being said, folks, we're still moving through this Metroid Prime fight. It appears to be the exoskeleton is finally completed, and Storm is moving on to the actual essence. This fight will soon be over.
We'll have Storm, whoever is handling his tracker, be ready to stop his clock at any moment here. And Storm, just like Bruh Incorporated, does not have the thermal visor, so the fight will be okay. It's just that going through the thermal phase of the fight is going to be a bit shaky. And that's not a great position for Metroid Prime to be in, right above his corpse. He's going to shift. He's probably going to shift midway through here and go into thermal visor without dropping a pool. Storm not getting the rhythm down for that hyper mode cannon. There it is. There he's got it. Took out a good third of his health, and there's the swap. It tends to happen whenever Essence is hovering over his exocorpse, so it's always prudent for racers to to keep Essence as far away from that corner of the room as possible. Oh. And I think Essence is about to drop another pool. Yes! Here comes more Metroids to back him up, although they'll be disposed of quickly by power bombs. Like I said before, it comes down to defeating Metroid Prime Essence comes down to how well you can utilize those phase-on pools. The longer you stay in those pools, the quicker it will run out. So the best method of doing that is to quickly step in and step out of the pools while getting one little spurt of damage in. Instead of continually holding down the trigger for the hyper mode beam, that will only do so much damage in a given period of time. While he does these short little spurts, he also is cycling through Essence's animations to make him speed up and to hopefully drop another pool of Phazon by the time his current one has disappeared. Although he is getting relatively close to being done, and that's time for Storm!
That's time, 150.26.
And he has taken third overall in today's race. Congratulations to Storm on a good showing. We will send out invites to him here shortly. And we'll hopefully we'll get him in the... Oh, I saw him. And now joining us in the booth is Storm. Hi, Storm. How are you doing?
That was terrible.
So, we'll ask you right away. What was your thoughts as soon as you saw the suit hint?
I was really, really sad.
I was sad for you, my friend. You were right next to getting Phazon suit upon getting Plasma Beam. You and Bro were both right there getting Plasma Beam at the exact same time.
Damn it. Yeah. I didn't have that problem. Like, I was out of pub on this point. I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna hot dog that, and of course it turned out to be phase on.
The one
That
item
hurt.
you needed.
But otherwise, let's go through the rest of the route, shall we? We opened up with a Tower of Light access start. Wave beam there, go back to Tower of Light to collect the artifact and to collect missile launcher on Tower Chamber. What a start that was, and to have space jump boots right off the bat as well. With all of that open to you, what was your thought process through everything?
I guess that was interesting. I mean, I got very quickly like the mothball and the bombs I saw as well, so I just decided to do most of ruins. I had a choice at some point when I found the Varia. It was either go straight to Magmor or go further into the ruins. I think going to Magmor was the better play, but sadly I did go all the way to the deep ruins. After that, I did go to Magmor. I think I didn't find much there. Like the most depressing part is I was finding missile after missile after missile expansion. Nothing was coming up. It was just depressing for a while.
Yeah. And then what was it? There were a few really rough or interesting item locations as well. Ice Beam was on the Sun Chamber Ghosts.
Yeah, I basically last location Ice Beam, and that was also depressing.
Yeah.
That was a pretty bad spot for it. Especially
We
logically, you need Spider, which if I remember right, I found in Fan, I think it was, or Magmor.
Spider was on Lava Lake.
Okay, it wasn't Magmor, so yeah, after that, you had to resist the call towards Fan, and you actually had to return to Chosen Ruins to the Ghosts, which I don't think many people would bet on.
No.
So that was definitely kind of brutal.
And then just to kind of take you through the logic chain again towards the end, the logic chain wanted you to go towards Fendrana's edge and climb up to collect Plasma Beam, then go all the way to the front of Fendrana to Shorelines, collect the main power bombs there, then go all the way back again to Storage Cave to collect Phazon suits.
Yeah.
That's just really mean logic.
It was not a fun seed in terms of routing.
No. That was I would have had a tough time running through that seed myself, I think.
Though it's still depressing that I did lose like at least 20 minutes, maybe 20, maybe more, to the fact that I didn't pick the Phazon suit right there, and then after Plasma, it definitely was kind of the killer. Especially as the way the elevators were routed made it really awful to go all the way back, and then back again to the Artifact Temple was pretty bad.
The two Magmor elevators right in front Chozo Ruins was really kind of throwing you and Bra off a little bit.
Oh, it was.
To go anywhere else, you had to go to the back of Chozo Ruins, which both of those were Talon Overworld elevators.
Yep.
So to go anywhere else in the game, Phazon Mines or Fendrana Drifts, you had to go through one of those regions.
Yeah, and that was definitely awkward to route.
Definitely. What was the worst thing you were fearing in terms of locations? What were you not looking forward to doing if it ended up being a thing?
Well, I think Ghost is probably the biggest one for that, honestly.
Yeah,
the fact I ended up last locationing it does mean like it was the last thing I wanted to do. And after that, obviously, Phazon Suit actually being in Safety Cave or Storage Cave, I always confused the two. I think it's Storage Cave. Was definitely the second worst case scenario. I was kind of possibly expecting Phazon Suit at Omega Pirate because I stumbled on the X-ray visor. But nah, it had to be Storage Cave. I was even kind of hoping it would be on Thardus, so I could feel better, but no, it wouldn't give me that.
No, unfortunately not. Although Marion is happy that we got a Thardus fight in.
Ah, well.
And then you had Varia Suit on Watery Hall. You had Gravity Suit on Training Chamber. That was an interesting location.
Yeah, it was. I was sussing something in the magma pool area because I found a grapple beam that didn't seem to really go anywhere else. Grav is not what I expected there. I kind of expected maybe Training Chamber access would have maybe boost or ice. But No, instead finding a grab was actually in training chamber was a bit annoying. Because I couldn't grab it then, and I knew that was an artifact in Biohazard. So even though I didn't need the grav to make it through there, it was probably going to be faster anyway to pick it up. So yeah.
And Biohazard is probably the most ruthless artifact to get out of that set, just because of the logic settings.
Yeah, it was annoying.
But despite all of that, you did have a good showing overall. Before we wrap things up, do you have any final thoughts or opinions on anything at all?
No, not really. I think discuss everything.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much for joining us in the booth today, and congratulations, and thank you for showing us your restream.
Thank you for commenting.
Of course. And thank you to Marion as well for co-commenting with me, and then thank you to Warren Traveler and Op82 for tracking our items today. Marion, if you're still there, do you have any final comments before we wrap up? I think he had to step away for a moment, so I'll go ahead and I'll start wrapping things up. Thank you all to the community for coming out to watch Speed Gaming today. Thank you to the technicians at Speed Gaming and for Randomania for hosting these races and putting them on. Thank you again to our trackers. Thank you just to everybody. So we'll see you next time on Speed Gaming when we do another Metroid Prime Randomizer. Make sure to stay safe these holidays, drink plenty of water, and we'll see you next mission. Take care, everybody.